Hello, I'm going to share my first year reflection, and this video is welcome to be shared with other Phase 1 Teacher's License students. Reflecting on my first year of teaching, there are areas where I did well and where I'm seeing growth. When I started teaching, I thought that if my lesson plans and class activities were interesting enough, the students wouldn't want to look at their phones. I had been teaching ESL and English language arts and algebra for over 10 years to all different age groups and programs. In my previous teaching experience, I was able to connect to students' individual lives and interests to connect it to class material. So they didn't even want to end our classes when time was up. What I didn't realize was the students I was teaching were in tutoring programs, summer school programs, accelerated programs. They came from families where their parents had instilled the importance of education from a young age. On the other hand, 2022 to 2023, my first year teaching at a full-time public school position as a 9th grade teacher, I realized that the students I was teaching came from backgrounds where their parents didn't go to college and many of their parents were illiterate. Education, reading, writing, critical thinking, expression. It's completely a different world for these students. They told me things like, "Please understand, I've been trying to tell you, I don't want to read or write. I want to work as a construction worker like my dad. I want to work in restaurants like my mom. I don't want to be a writer. I don't care. Please respect me." So I had to really work hard at finding ways to show them that reading and writing and being able to express themselves was something that would benefit them in so many ways in their lives. Every day, teaching 9th grade has been a major process of helping them to see how what we were learning actually relates to their lives. I was able to get many of them to intrinsically connect to the classroom, but not all of them. And this is something that taught me to have even more patience and understanding and improve my lesson plans to meet a demographic of students who want nothing more than to not be in a classroom. I wish I had known that it's important to research the neighborhoods that the students you will be teaching are from and prepare yourself for the specific needs of those students. Alexandria City Public Schools have a high percentage of students in gangs, and so fights are very common. These students need the most support, and teachers need to be very skilled at de-escalation tactics in the classroom. Helping to calm down students when we were on lockdown is that socio-emotional learning aspect that we learned about in our program and in our lives. Helping students who have difficulty connecting to each other and even to themselves is the first step of administering an effective lesson plan. Showing the students that you're there to help them and understand them, as well as having clear rules and boundaries and limits and consequences, is the balance that effective teachers look for every day. It isn't easy to find that balance, and it is different for every student, but it's important that we try our best to show consistency to all students. The best advice I got was be understanding and discover their stories. These students are used to getting in trouble and being yelled at in all areas of their lives. What worked well was staying calm when the students were going to fight, because when you scream and get angry with them, unfortunately, it escalates the problem. Even in the most uncomfortable scenarios, we need to be the rock. We need to show them the energy and behavior that they will mirror. In my particular classrooms, what did not work well was trying to teach the whole class at once. And I was used to doing that with all the other groups I had done before. I was always able to get a common groove, everyone kind of on the same page, but I didn't have that experience this year. No matter how interesting the class activity was, the students have a hard time connecting unless they're getting more direct attention from you, the teacher, and more consistent eye contact, like one-on-one. Moving from student to student, one-on-one, was really the only way I was able to get them to engage. The advice that I have for career switchers is to prepare yourself for the group of students that you will most likely be teaching. We need teachers who have that extra care and patience and ability to stay calm when things get hectic. We have to teach them by example, which means that yelling back or being very angry will only make things worse in the long run, and they will end up mirroring that behavior. Clear expectations and consistent communication with the students when things get out of control is the only way to bring peace back to the classroom environment, and that's the only way that you can teach. Information and advice that would be helpful for a career switcher to have before beginning his or her first year of teaching is to remember the materials we studied in Educate VA that reinforce the importance of socio-emotional learning. To remind yourself every day when you're there to make a difference in the lives of the youth of this generation and to be the support these students may have never gotten. No one said it would be easy, but at least you're trying to be part of the solution, and the students will feel that. The students can definitely tell which teachers are trying to just kind of rush through a lesson plan and just do their duty on paper rather than really kind of hearing them out and listening to them. We're dealing with a different generation today. A lot of the teachers say, the students are managing the classroom, not the teachers. And across the board, whether I saw the most strict teachers or the most understanding teachers, it is still very, very hard to get a common flow in certain classrooms with certain groups of students. And so don't give up. Don't let the instances where you're unable to do what you thought you could do make you feel like a failure. And just remember that a win for even one student is a win in your career, because like they say, changing even just one person's life and being that influence and that teacher in just one person's life can make the whole difference. We've heard a lot of those quotes about famous people saying it was just one teacher. And often their kindness and their attention and their individual care that made them believe in themselves, which got them to the point of success that they're at. So just remember, you're going to get overwhelmed. It's going to be difficult. You may encounter a group of students that you had no idea were going to be something that you were going to have to deal with, but you never know what you're going to find. So just stay true to the intention and the purpose of why you're choosing to become a teacher, and don't let the mishaps and the confusions bring you down. Smile even if they don't smile back. Say hello even if they don't say hello back. Incorporate all those fun lesson plans even if they're totally embarrassed and terrified to engage with them. And be lighthearted. The youth, especially of this age, from social media addiction and not really having that much of like family and community connection, they're really struggling in terms of being able to connect, and they're terrified. So keep that in mind, and just remember why you're doing it. Best of luck.